There's definitely been a collective shift over the last few years. Many of us are leaning more towards self sustainability, growing our own food, homesteading, just getting back to living in a more natural way. Last year, my partner, best friend, and I moved from our apartments in the city into a rental house in a quiet little suburb here in Oregon. It's just beautiful. I can tell the original owners put a lot of care and love and thought into the landscaping and the garden. It is so full of potential. I'm really, really excited and honored to live on this land and to have this opportunity to learn how to take care of it. We have quite a bit of space. It's about a quarter-acre lot in total, and it was pretty daunting this year. We really let nature take the garden back. The weeds and the plants really took over, and there's a big apple tree on one side, so the ground is kind of just covered in dead apples and dead leaves. It's pretty overwhelming, honestly, but it's important to remember to just take it one step at a time and kind of start with the most accessible tasks, which in this case, without any tools or anything, is just kind of pulling the weeds that were easy to take out of the ground, picking up trash. There were quite a few things that kind of were thorny and sharp, and I couldn't find my work gloves, so I just took out the easy stuff. I started to clear the walkways so we can access the planters when we're ready to start using them. There are so many different types of plants and shrubs on this land, and I'm actually really, really excited to go one by one and learn how to care for each one and learn how to prune them back so they grow well this spring and summer. Planning the garden is definitely a big task in itself. We still need to figure out what we actually want to grow and where we want to grow it. There's actually a couple other planters on the other side of the yard that we haven't even really addressed yet, but that's a project for another day. I am so excited to embark on this journey of expanding my relationship with the land that I live on and really building a relationship with the food that I eat as well. As I was working, I was taking mental notes of what type of supplies and tools I need. I don't currently have a rake or a shovel, and obviously there's a lot of leaves everywhere, but there's also a few, I think there are saplings from the apple tree that grew in one of the planters, and they're really rooted in there. I wasn't able to just pull them out, so I'll actually have to uproot them. There is just so much rain here in Oregon that the planters and kind of the whole garden is pretty much covered in moss, which I think is really beautiful, but I really don't know what to do with it. I think when it's time to plant, we'll have to remove it. I decided to call it a day after just clearing out the walkways a little bit and the planters and kind of just getting my feet wet and getting my hands dirty and just spending some time out there and getting excited for this journey. There will be more to come, and we are in the stages of lots of research. I am figuring out what I want to plant, where I want to plant it. My partner and I are kind of discussing, what's going to be good and beginner friendly, and being realistic about our expectations and being open to learning and receiving any lessons we may receive from embarking on this journey of growing our own food. The house came with this really cute greenhouse. It's a little bit of a mess. There's a lot of plants and moss and weeds that have kind of taken it over, and just sort of random old junk that came with the house. So I'm pretty excited to clear it out. Living here has really been a dream come true. It really aligns with my goals, aspirations, our visions for the future, and the way we want to live, which is a life that is more intentional, a life in union with this earth and the natural world. We are part of this earth. And when we tend to the soil, we are also tending to ourselves. We're also tending to our inner worlds, the garden within, the garden of the mind. Now, let's go for a hike. So my best friend and I decided to check out some new waterfalls this past week. We went to a pretty popular area along the Columbia River Gorge here in Oregon. This particular hike was super duper fun. There's a big waterfall right at the start of the hike, like right next to the parking lot. Really, really beautiful. The trail was a little icy the higher up we went. We were a little sketched out, and honestly, if we didn't see other people coming down from the top, we probably wouldn't have continued going up. But I'm so glad we did, and there were really only like one or two sections that were a little bit sketchy, but not actually very dangerous. We weren't on the side of a cliff. It's always so fun going on a new trail. You just never know what's going to be around the bend, and there's just a certain excitement and thrill about it, especially going to a new waterfall. I didn't really know what to expect, but the upper waterfall had this really awesome, almost like a cave that you walk under, so you can walk behind the waterfall. It's so, so gorgeous and so cleansing, and waterfalls make me So excited. Bronco too. I really wanted to just sit there and meditate behind that water all day. I really cannot wait to come back to this spot. This year, I decided to do the 52 hike challenge. If you're not familiar, it is just going for one hike a week for the whole year, which makes 52 hikes. It seemed pretty accessible to me, and in all honesty, my mental health is so much better if I make sure I spend time in nature as often as possible, at least once a week. So I'm really excited about this challenge, and I'm excited to document it here. Learning to tend to the land, becoming more self-sufficient, growing my own food, and really getting back to the basics. I can't wait to see where our garden will be in 3 months, 6 months, a year. I'm so excited to be starting this journey and to be sharing it with you all. Thanks so much for watching.